Today we are going to try to work on brakes, probably the front brakes, brake lines, start the whole brake line thing. I'm waiting for a different master cylinder for the clutch. I need a bigger one. The one that came with the kit, I guess, isn't big enough for hydraulic clutch. I think it's like one size bigger. Talked to Mike Forte about that, and he's working on getting me one. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start working on this stuff here. So I've got components in here, labeled front brakes, soft line to a bracket. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so this is the line lock. We're trying to figure out where to put it. Inputs here, and I have up to 3 different outputs. I can plug off multiples, and I'll probably just use one input, one output, since there's a T here. Might even be able to just get rid of the T. Since this has multiple outputs, I don't know. Something I need to try to figure out, so I'm kind of looking for a place to put this with the T right now. So that's what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to put this in places and see where a good place is to put it. So got the line lock installed and have it about where I want it. It's close to the steering shaft, but there's plenty of space. Steering shaft shouldn't move at all, so it should be fine. Let me show you what I got going on here. So right here, so this will be this port here is labeled M. That's input from the master coming up that way. So the line will come from the master for the front brakes to this port, and it's just loosely in here for mock-up, no thread sealant or anything, and it's a 90. So I'll plumb the line coming down here, dog leg out, and then come in. Might come in, do a loop or pigtail or something, I don't know. And then this will be the output, and there's 3 outputs. There's one over here and one here, but I'm going to put plugs in there so that the front brakes are on one output to come to here. And this line here, I'll probably pigtail, come up, sweep around, and then come in. But that's kind of what I'm going to be working on next, is brake lines for the front, hard brake lines, getting those bent up and stuff. So unfortunate chain of events. We're waiting on a fitting. Basically this fitting right here coming off of the line lock, it is goes from pipe fitting to female flare 90, and let's see if the camera will pick it up. Basically took the fitting to the gun show and the fitting lost. So basically I ended up using too thin of a wrench and torquing it on in place. I squished it, so now the flare won't thread in. So we got one coming in, went to Napa, and it's on its way. Should be here this afternoon in a couple hours. So little pigtail going from the line lock to the front brakes is going to have to wait, and we'll see if we can put in the line, the long line coming off of the T to the other side of the brakes. So that's what we're working on while we're waiting for a part. Okay, so we're sacrificing this one. The bends look great. A little bit of a learning curve trying to get these bends to fit in there, but it does look really good. I'm just off on the measuring, and that's fine. I was expecting to be off. It's a good thing I can pick up brake line locally, so I'll probably salvage the flare nuts or whatever, but the fit's a little off. Live and you learn. So we'll bend up another piece and see if that one turns out a little bit better. It's really hard to film this part though, just because there's so much going on, but I'll do what I can. One tip when bending up these lines that have the flare nuts already on them is put some tape on them to keep them at the end. I learned that the hard way. I've made a bend on this one piece over here, and I didn't realize that the flare nut had gone past the bend. I bent it, and then the flare nut couldn't make the bend, so I had to unbend it, get the flare nut through it, and then rebend it. So just a tip, piece of advice, put a little bit of tape on there just to keep them at the ends so that it doesn't turn into a problem. So this is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. So I bent the second piece. This time bent it perfect, and it's about 6 inches short. So I do not want to run like a little union for another little pigtail, just because more connections, more chances for a leak. So brake line is cheap, which is this stuff here. So if anything, I'm learning a lot on bending brake lines. Whatever, it is what it is, so we'll see what we can work it out. So I'm going to route it completely differently. I'm going to use the X bar in the front instead of running down and then across the 4-inch frame piece. I'm going to keep it up high and follow the X bar. So that should give me, shouldn't have to be as long of a run. So hopefully this will work. So I'm going to try bending that piece up now. We got one line in and I'm getting ready to run to the store to pick up the 190 that I need so I can install the pigtail and hopefully finish the front brakes. But after, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, but after 3 oops, I finally got it. If anything, I can butcher up those lines and save the fittings for whatever, but this is what we've got so far. Nothing is tight yet, but it is in. So we got the line there, and we just did the double flare on it. Comes across. There's a little bit of spring in this, so there is a little bit of movement. Nothing's tight yet because I still got to drill the holes and put in the mounts, and then line over here. So should be pretty good clearance. The spot here, probably bend this away to clear this area here, because as you pull it in it gets really close to there, but I can adjust that no problem. But that is one line in. Definitely a learning curve, some growing pains, and effed up 3 lines. So I'll be picking up some more brake line plus the 190 fitting to tie into the front line lock. So we'll be back once we get back from the store for that. So we got the fronts in, they're not tight, ready to run the line to the master cylinder. So that fitting came in, I put it in, got the pigtail in. So let's show you guys quick what's going on here. So front caliper was the soft line, transitions to this bulkhead fitting, which then goes to a hard line. And hard line will snake over, still need to put in the clips. And there is the pigtail that I made up to make this run here. And we'll run line from here up to the master. And then the front brake line will be in.